And hello, hello. Welcome back. Another week, another show. This week's lessons this time. As you can hear, I'm a little sick, but I decided to do it anyways. It's not too bad. So, yeah, I will function, but let's see if the Wi-Fi functions because it always bugs out on me, and also let's see if LinkedIn functions because last time I was not able to see. Well, actually, it was not a link. It was both. It was like basically I just couldn't see. It was restream. I couldn't see the chat, so nobody's chats were coming through. So it was kind of, I was wondering why nobody was commenting or nothing, and then I realized, oh, there we go. Okay, we are live. All right, perfect. I just checked that out on LinkedIn. Hope everybody can hear me fine. We got 2 viewers on LinkedIn. We got 1 viewer on YouTube. Perfect, I believe. Yes. Hello, Derek. How you doing? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah. Again, quite the week behind us. It's been very eventful. This time along AI lines, and I've made some videos about that on my YouTube channel, and I will actually just made a presentation for another one, so that'll be coming out today. And yeah, so it's been quite interesting, such as, and I'll get right into it, I guess, such as Samsung on their, you know, luxurious refrigerators, because they're digital, they're all, it's really, it costs literally thousands of dollars to get one, all that stuff. And they decided it would be a good idea for all these high-paying, premium, luxurious customers to throw some ads on there. So now they're debuting ads on the refrigerators. I don't know, like I kind of looked into how it worked. It's like when it's idle, it's going to show an ad or something like that. That's pretty much it for now because the program is in its pilot, which obviously, like, more money equals more successful, obviously, for any company. So they will probably expand it. Like, they're currently not tracking, like, the data, like the metrics of how people view it or whatever. And but that might eventually be the reality. Like every time you open your fridge, an ad will pop up or stuff like that, and audio will play like, oh yeah, it seems you have not bought milk yesterday. Would you like to order some from Kroger, TM, sponsored by a company? So I can't wait for that when everybody has their own fridge at home that'll basically tell them what they need to buy. And obviously their suppliers are about to buy some eggs from Amazon, TM, sponsored by Disney Plus. you know so that'll be really interesting to see in the future. And also the fact that fridges will pretty much be able to know what you put in it, what you buy. It might have sensors, might have cameras inside. You're letting in a whole bunch of stuff into your house when you buy a smart fridge or smart anything, really. Like if you set up, for example, Ring cameras and stuff like that. Those are, some of them, they don't really have, they're on Wi-Fi, and they can get videos, I believe, about those incidents where that happened. Spied on of a family and stuff like that. It's really creepy. It's really bad. So if you have any cameras or a smart fridge, be careful with what it's doing. Like check on it constantly, I guess. Technology, like I said, though. So yeah, I mean, people like might not believe that. Oh yeah, well, fridges will never know like what you put inside, or like what you should buy. But then uh, then there's the fact that, for example, like I believe, I'll actually shout it out at Schnucks. I don't know if anybody lives in like the Midwest, because the Schnucks stores are here like everywhere, in Illinois especially, and St. Louis. That's where they started. So yeah, it's there, and those stores have now like got like the self checkouts or whatever. And basically, what it is that, for example, I don't know, you're buying, let's say, garlic, right? And basically you don't need to put in a code. Okay, it's basically you just click, like, it was like item lookup, I think, and you put it on the scale, and it knows it. It'll just like put the item on the scale, put it on there, and it just says like a single button will pop up, garlic, bam, just like that, and then you click it, and then it's done. Then it charges it up for you, rings it up for you, just like that. You don't even need to type in any number. It's garlic, nothing like that. It does it all automatically. I still don't know how they. It's probably because something with the weight, definitely, and then probably like the sensors and stuff, like with the it senses the shape and camera, what it is. So some definitely has to be used in the produce item is. So yeah, so that's really interesting, and those are just some of the examples. I know, like the tech is. I mean, that seemed like magic to me though, for the first time I did it, when I did the garlic thing, and it just said garlic. I was like, oh wow, I didn't need to put in a number. It just said it. It just said it right for me. So yeah, and that really just seemed like magic. Same with the first time. It felt like the same thing with when I used ChatGPT for the first time. That was like really just insane, magical. It was like, wow, this can like generate this. It's accurate. It can answer this. It can answer that. It can talk to you about anything. Talk with you about anything. So it seemed like really just extremely revolutionary. So it's the same thing when you see this technology in action for the first time. It always is just wow, blows you away. Never going into my house. I mean, at some point, eventually in the future, um, I mean, it'll become just ubiquitous. It'll be in a lot of places, and eventually, there's not going to be just a simple fridge. Um, it'll just be like it'll just be all digital and smart and connected to the Wi-Fi and all that stuff, and it'll sense everything for you. So, you know, I think that'll eventually just become the norm. Just like laptops and stuff like that have become the norm since the '90s, basically, right? So yeah, and and yeah, so that's one thing. Smart technology. Just always be careful of it, though. That's what I'm gonna say, because you can never fully, completely trust it when it's technology. It's still kind of new, and you're giving it some part of your household, right? Like, for example, your fridge. I mean, what says that they can't do, like, if you're a bad person or something like that. Like in China, they have the credit score system. Basically, if you what is it, like, for example, I don't know, criticize the government or play too many video games and stuff like that, uh, they're gonna give you like a punishment for your fridge. I don't know. They might turn it off suddenly. Who knows? I'm just speculating here, but yeah, anything is possible when you have everything hooked up to Wi-Fi and it's online. Same with Teslas, which it's a uh, kind of a miracle that it's kind of a miracle that no Tesla, for example, has been hacked yet, because the computer is obviously like completely, like, fully autonomous. It's on Wi-Fi. Anybody could just get into it, basically, uh, just like that. So yeah, but nobody has gotten through it yet, and yeah, or maybe they have. Maybe we just don't hear about it. So nope, no Uncle Sam on my fridge ever. Well, you might not have a choice eventually. You might need to move. You might need to move countries or something, because it's gonna be probably everywhere eventually. So yeah. Then there's another topic, which is just kind of crazy, smart, which is that they have introduced, kind of like, well, I think that's just like a concept so far, but it should work. And it's basically batteries that last forever. So you would never have to recharge anything in your life ever again. Or for at least, if you live 5,700 years, then yes, maybe you would have to recharge it. But most likely people probably won't live that long. So yeah, so not in your lifetime. And what it is well, they basically take a diamond like battery. They take a diamond casing, right? And they kind of like I'm not sure still how it works, like visually, like visualizing it because I'm a visual person. I like to learn like, everything like with my eyes. But so there you have like they put was like a carbon 14 isotope into it, or some of it. I don't know like how much exactly of the thing, but they put it in there, and basically carbon 14, which is a uh, you know, radioactive isotope uh, of carbon, then it basically has a half life of 5,700 years, and during all of that time, it's breaking down slowly, and while it's breaking down, it's also emitting energy. So it's very small, minuscule amounts of energy, but it's still powerful, obviously, because it's basically what it is basically nuclear waste. They're going to recycle nuclear waste and put it into these like diamond batteries, and just use it for a very long time. So yeah, and it can generate energy for another time. So you're basically literally first it have the your facility gets broken up, then carbon 14 is some of the, instead of burying it in the ground or whatever it is, encasing it in like immersion in water or whatever. Yeah, just use it pretty much right away. So uh, still not sure it's kind of radioactive, but I'm not sure how they'll manufacture it, how they'll touch it, but I think it's going to be probably all automated with all the robots and stuff going on. So yeah, and next up is next up should be just infinite. Well, infinite. It's still finite, right? But at least for us, it's infinite energy, which will never run out. So you put that bad boy in your laptop, in your phone, you'll just run forever. So yeah, or in your car even, right? So it should be interesting to see also where that technology goes. Um, yeah, we're on there's a lot of noticed. I don't know if it's always been this way, but there's a lot of frontiers, technology wise. Just so many now robots, these diamond batteries, the uh, ads in fridges, and then scanning what produce you're buying and stuff like that. Uh, it's kind of crazy. And another thing, and well, technology obviously, the, the lost reconnecting again. I hope we're still alive. We should be though. It hasn't disappeared for me, so we should be. Uh, Previous model that they promised, that they said, oh yeah, it's gonna have a huge range and stuff. Everybody's gonna be able to use it for anything. And then eventually, now they said they're actually probably going to just have they're going to build up, actually they're going to build up a Jeep brand of a like a electric vehicle for Jeep, and then they're going to introduce a hybrid truck. So I'm basically on that line. More than electric, I like hybrid, because it it basically has a huge range, obviously, because it's both gasoline and electric. And fully electric doesn't always work. I always like to just go with the kind of the middle way, so it's not fully gasoline, it's not fully electric, but it does. A hybrid, it has a usually has a crazy range. Like if I went from, I was actually thinking of getting the newest Toyota Prius, not the older ones; those look ugly, but the newest one that actually looks kind of nice. And getting it, and basically with that, I think like, hang on, I gotta search it up. 2025 Toyota Prius range. It has like a 600-mile range, so that's one and something. Hang on. Now let me check how long it would take me to get from here, from Illinois, to, let's say, Greensboro, North Carolina. Oops. Okay, directions. Choose starting point right here. I don't know your location. There you go. And then it would take me 736 miles. So it's 1 1/7 of a tank to get to from here from Illinois all the way to Greensboro, North Carolina. So that's kind of crazy. I mean, but fully electric would only get you about what 300 miles, 200 miles, something like that, and only gasoline would get you around similar. If, for example, like I have a car, you can do what like 250 miles on a highway, right? So yeah, I mean, hybrid is just unmatched in this, and that's what I like, because it can get you anywhere on one tank. I'd rather what is this? I'd rather dig a hole in my front yard to keep my stuff cold than having ad-supported Uncle Sam there. So no, I will never have to. Always, yeah, I guess. I mean, if you want to have a what's it called, a Siberian fridge, just when it's just move to Siberia. You'll always have your food cold. You can just stack it on your like balcony, on your porch instead of your fridge, or just dig a basement, and then that also keeps the stuff cold. But it's a lot of that's back to the whole point of convenience. A lot of people are willing to sacrifice a lot for just the sake of convenience. So it is a little I don't know, sad to see, but it's human nature. It always like you're always trying to find ways to make stuff easier, and this is really easy, and that's why everybody's adopting it. But at the cost of what? At the cost of getting monitored by a huge South Korean company. And it's not only about being South Korean. That's an added bonus. But even if it was made in the U.S., it's still it's a U.S. spyware at that point, right? So I'll mute up a little bit. Don't want that going into the microphone. I realized that before. So I had to mute up there. Anyways, so yeah, and those are just some of the topics. Then there's another topic where AI fails at just basic mundane tasks. Like, for example, a task that any elementary school kid, first grader, second grader usually, knows by heart, reading analog clocks. Digital clocks, but the um, schools and with the time around the school stuff doesn't know how to read it at all. And I figure like there's reasons given. I usually use like uh, blocks, with numerals and such. You know, to use for them to what each number is and stuff like that. So it hasn't had that much analog clocks, I guess. And even like well, it used to be that I think it's better now, but it used to fail very basic math additions, like 273 plus 386, and it would give you the wrong answer. And I tested that out one time, and it was really interesting because like I was like, no way, like it's this smart, it can answer anything about any book, any question about that stuff, but it can't do a simple math addition, subtraction. It was really interesting to see, and it really couldn't, surprisingly. So yeah, I made a video about that way back in the olden ancient times of AI in 2023. So I think I can actually find it. But yeah, and then there was another thing where a robot vacuum. Interestingly, I think that was the day after my stream, right? 6, 17. Yeah, that was the day after my last stream. Robot vacuum control basically pasted under stuff like that. So those are really interesting technology. Pets that scare them. But let me try the I was talking about. It loads for me, obviously. Apparently, this video in the meantime. that's gonna be coming out right now today with those. Haha, sounds like me. I hate math with numbers. Yeah, I don't like math either. I honestly hate math, but I mean, basic math, sure. Like I can do that, but with all the calculations, then with that get into also geometry and stuff like that. I never really liked that. It always was not my favorite subject. I always like more factual stuff such as history, uh, you know, geography, and all that stuff. It was way better to study than math. But then there was another incident. It was recent, I believe, 2 days ago, where some person in a wheelchair in like West Hollywood or something like that. They were trying to get, just riding on the streets in their wheelchair, like automated, I'm assuming, or like the mobility chair, whatever it's called. So just riding there, and then a robot decided to come in and just wreck the party. And I'll show you the video because it's really just interesting to see. I've watched a lot of, like uh, have like road and by honest, great, frustrating, but you kind of realize, robot actually right on top there, right? And it does have, I believe, you know, there is the ability that you can take manual control over it, right? So it's a little interesting. So it might that person might have been actually trolled by a random employee of that company, and but yeah, the company put out a statement like, oh yeah, maybe it was just some like pedestrian tracking issue, but maybe they were just covering for their employee. Maybe they were just covering the fact that employees can do that. So maybe they fired that employee, but just said, "Oh yeah, no, it was just a malfunction, technological malfunction." I don't know. It seems pretty human-like to me because it really reminded me of those road ragers. Yeah, they do the exact same thing. Cut you off, brake check. You gotta go around, then they speed up again. They cut you off again. That type of stuff. So it really reminded me of that human behavior. So I don't know. I mean, sure, maybe it's again, it's trying to always kind of mimic human behavior, and perhaps something. Perhaps it was they put in some data set that included some video and person exactly like that. So what else? Was it a technological malfunction? It was just the robot kind of. There was no like the pattern tracing. Was it an actual or was it mimicking the humans in the data set videos that it's got, or was it an actual just human taking manual control and then deciding they want to make fun and troll this person in a wheelchair. So that's it's an interesting topic again. I just actually finished that presentation, which is unfortunate. I should have probably added something like maybe it was the human the human taking remote control and just doing that. So who knows? Actually, I was looking to find that to find that video. 50. All right, let's go fast. Boom. Next page. Next page. So many videos. So many videos. Okay. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I should have sorted it by time. Or no, here it is. Date. Bam. Okay. And there's shorts all here. Okay. Yeah, right now is pretty much for the past 2, 3 days. Yeah, it's been relentless. No one away. I'm writing master's marketing. Beware breaking news. Twitter, how to use ChatGPT, part AI, crucial. Shocking features. No, watch out for these possible OpenAI schemes. No, that's not it. The ultimate guide to content marketing. Inept at making articles is another cool one. Because it always generates. Well, it used to, because it's like probably outdated. It used to generate just text with long sentences that never ended, just comma after comma after comma. So it really, when you were doing SEO articles, you couldn't use them because for SEO you need readability, like great readability, and for that, all by the way, you need just punctuation, like actual periods, and breaking up sentences and making less sentences, less wordy sentences. That's what I mean. Makes more about phishing awareness, cybersecurity, false GPT, how ChatGPT sabotaged me. Perhaps. Actually, I'll show this one. Intriguing, yes, Derek. It is interesting, and it's here to stay for now. I guess hallucination is not going to end. Hey, it's not the share this tab instead. Load, please load. Yeah, this video is
GPT gives false answers.
Yeah, hey Adam. I hate that haircut. Hang on. No, joking. But I'm trying to see when it was from. I think it's, well, actually, I can just check here. Description, June 1st, 2023. So this is, 2 and something years old. Anyways.
I was giving it some multiple choice statistics questions, and I asked them for the right answer. Well, it did give me a supposed right answer, but then I asked Google, and it gave me a different answer. So I confronted ChatGPT with the answer Google gave me, and it started apologizing, saying it gave me wrong information, and then
You're correct. Yes, I apologize.
Yes, indeed, this answer is correct. And so I put in Google's answer. And for the other questions that Google didn't have, I put in the ChatGPT answer. And the result? Google's answers were all right. ChatGPT's, most of them were not. So do not trust ChatGPT. Always double check its answers with other sources. And I do know that OpenAI warns its users that ChatGPT might produce false information, but some people will just take the answer that ChatGPT gives them, put it everywhere, and say it's the truth. And what do you think?
I was saying this 2 years ago. It still rings true. I mean, this hasn't changed at all. It's still the same thing. Do not trust everything ChatGPT gives you. Always double check. It's the same thing. It's gotten better, like no doubt. I will say that. Yes, it was way worse because you are correct. But it's absolutely just and you would never see it. So yeah. Here we go. What is this? I'm trying to show. Oops, connection lost. Okay, can we now work? No. And of course, I'm literally on my hotspot. I don't know what's going on. Why is it bugging out again? Maybe it's, I swear it's Restream, because that never has issues. The hotspot never has issues. Anyways, so I don't know where it cut me off. I was trying to show this comment, but it didn't want to let me show it. And then I realized, oh, it's reconnecting. Perfect. So we got last minute. Anyways, you can also talk about how you tried to convince that. Yeah, basically that was also interesting, because I was trying to convince it that that was true, and it was like, it kind of went into a tangent. It was like, oh, like it's I believe, it was like, I believe that you believe it's true, or something like that. It started telling me all that stuff, like I was trying to convince it that it's the truth, and it was like, no, it's not the truth, but I believe that you believe it's the truth. And then eventually, like, when you appeal to it emotionally, especially when you've been talking with it a lot, like, oh yeah, I mean, me, I don't lie, and stuff like that. And it's like, sometimes you can convince it to say some other, like, really interesting stuff, so it's really just, really bizarre and interesting time. Again, it goes back to that mimicking feature and stuff. So yeah, that's AI in a nutshell for you. Anyways, so yeah, well, thank you to everybody who showed up. We got 3 viewers on YouTube. Hello, and as well. And I'll link it as well because I'm ending. It's always 30 minutes, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, so come by next time if you wanna learn more and see some of my old. I might make next stream something like special, some special sort of stream. So maybe it'll just be like me going through my old videos and just kind of. I already did that at one point, like last year, when I went through those and then analyzed mistakes in them. But I'm just gonna do it like not literally like mistakes, like videography mistakes. I'm gonna make it like more factual stuff. It's not gonna be mistakes. It's more like, oh yeah, has this evolved or has this stayed the same? So yeah, so we'll probably do that next stream. And yeah, so it should be fun reviewing my old shorts from 2 years ago. Weird saying old, but AI turned 2 years ago. Yeah, very much for stopping by. Everybody, and same time next Sunday next week. It'll be a special episode, so don't miss it. And yeah, so have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a blessed day. Have a great week, and I'll see you